yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I just know we found something so wild from the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground when you saved your life.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop!
I am struggling extremely with mental health issues. and I am trying to do that whilst being FTFE. And unfortunately, talking to flat earthers is quite painful.
All right. Thank you, Craig.
Wait for me.
Law. Nowhere in nature or in a controlled environment can we ever produce a volume outside of containment.
What's that?
Has gas been seen or
what's that, brother?
Now let me see you drop it to the flow, drop it to the flow then.
Esta es una historia triste la que le voy a contar. Una historia triste la que le voy a contar. No tiene doble sentido, no vaya.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
I remember when I lost my mind.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you from the heart of dystopia, from this fever dream that we seem to be experiencing. Every day it's something. What's happening, True Few?
Not much. How's it going?
Wow, the hits just keep on coming, man. The hits just keep on coming. Did you see any of this Trump thing in Davos? It's hilarious, man. The shit he just says is just fucking hilarious.
I probably watched about 20 minutes of it before I had to get off of it because I can only stand so much of him.
Oh, God. He just rambles on and just says things.
And what was he, hour and a half today?
I guess what it was, all I'm doing is I'm just been checking little blurbs of shit that I've heard him say and just wow, you know, that and watching the people try to cover it for his shit. He's sitting there talking about Iceland and he meant Greenland. But now he's brought Iceland into the thing. And then Carolyn Levitt's like, no, he meant that Greenland's just a piece of ice. Well, that's not what he said, man.
Right.
It's like sending a fucking letter to somebody in Norway over Greenland and pissed at him because they didn't give him his fucking prize that he was whining about. It was like, what a fucking asshole, man. This guy, you can't make it up. And all of this is, you know, if I was him and all the shit that was coming out about everything, Sascha Riley and all the rest of this shit, I'd be trying to make myself look like as much of a goddamn angel as I possibly could. You know what I'm saying? Instead, he just draws more attention on himself, you know?
Yeah, he's not very good. He's not doing very good right now.
He's not. There's Roger.
Mr.
Roger.
Jerry Fletcher, how you doing, sir?
Not bad. He's one of the biggest MAGA supporters ever. Roger, what's up, bro?
Oh, you know it. I'm wearing my MAGA hat.
There's people over there in Europe and shit. They got hats. They got red hats that say "Make America Go Away." They look like the Trump hats, but they say "Make America Go Away." I'm like, oh no
Nice.
shit.
So say hi to Ryan right quick. Say hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
He's on the phone. He's
He's
going
on
to
the
hang up
phone?
now, aren't you, Ryan? Yes.
I don't know.
You come on the show?
Yeah, I'm high.
Come on. He's high right now. He doesn't know what he's doing. He wants the biscuits, though.
Does he like? Does he? Yeah, get that honey sauce going, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we're after.
Yeah.
Taste
Hey,
the
Ryan,
biscuit.
say, come on. Yeah. I'll make it.
Who?
Come on. Ryan.
Who is?
Ryan.
Ryan. Oh, Cookie Monster Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's my co-host, aren't you, Ryan?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
I get to go put door locks on a place.
There's no free energy.
That's what I get to do tomorrow.
You do? Nice.
Yeah.
I got to turn Ryan down. He's too loud. I dare you go in the stream. He's coming.
All right. Don't threaten us.
With a good time. Yeah.
Here's this is the thing I was looking for the other day. This is crazy. Oops.
And thousands, Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, and that was Keith Schiller's job. He would take him off set, he would wipe him down. Our nickname for Keith was Wet Wipes. Not a joke. It happened.
What does that position pay there? That's what I want to know. The dude that's got to wipe fucking Trump's ass with a wet wipe. That's what I want to know.
Oh boy.
Oh, minimum wage.
Several times. And you've seen it happen while he's in office. You've seen he was in the Oval Office with Erdogan, and you could clearly hear him sort of evacuating himself.
It is a great honor to have President.
Look at the look on his face. He's like, this dude just shit himself. This look he gets is priceless. Look at this.
It is a great honor to have President Erdogan.
Did you guys hear that? I'm scared.
He did it in front of Senator Feinstein, Dianne Feinstein, at a press conference.
So today we're here in a bipartisan fashion to show leadership in an effort to end this senseless violence.
So he does it, and he almost sits there like and unaware of it, And one time I saw Ivanka have to go kind of whisper in his ear, and then Keith came and took him off stage. He'll also do it in a rage. He'll start to freak out. One time there was the word arbitrage on a cue card, and he started screaming that the script department was setting him up. You're setting me up. And he just freaked out and then very loudly evacuated his bowels, and you could smell it, and the guy who was holding the boom mic, was tearing up. So that.
I mean, I'm so mad I could shit. I've heard that phrase before, but I've never actually known anyone to do it. To just be so mad that they just shit. They just shit in a bit of rage.
You serious? We had a president just before this last one that you had to go 2 presidents in a row that crap their pants.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everything he made fun of, everything that he was making fun of Biden for, he's doing. Falling asleep, forgetting shit, rambling on incoherently.
Yeah.
Well, don't make fun of a dying man, Saab. Don't do that. That's wrong.
Well, at least they weren't taking it in the ass.
Well, you don't know that.
No, listen, Ryan, that's exactly why it's pretty widely speculated now that that's taking it in the ass is really why he's got this problem.
Tent peg.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude put a tent peg in his ass and then kicked it home.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Ow.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And they went right after Trump became president. They went and he had people go in there to the gastroenterologist that he had and confiscate all of Donald Trump's records from that doctor.
Wow.
So yeah, he's in bad shape with that shit. But I'm glad. I mean, considering the circumstances around that, yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
He's not long for this world, as you were saying, right, Bob? I don't think he is.
I don't think he's going to make it through this term, to tell you the truth. But he's making noises, man. And again, he said something about not going to be leaving office. He said something again today, something about tax cuts. And he says, and I'll take advantage of those tax cuts if and when I leave this office.
He said something about today about proving that the 2020 election was stolen too.
Oh yeah, he's going to try everything he possibly can think of to try to keep you from talking about his propensity for fucking little kids and selling them on a market, man. That's just anything he can do to keep you from talking about that. He'll start a war. He said it in his own words. I don't care. I'm not releasing that list. He said, I don't care what you got to do. Start a war.
Well, if my name was on that list, I wouldn't want it released either.
Well, you know, sooner or later, shit's going to come out on you, especially in that position. See, the big thing that he was relying on is the fact that they're all in that fucking club. It would have been mutually assured destruction, right? But now it's out here in the world, and people are like, we don't give a fuck if it's left or right people. We want to know. We want to get these fucking people. And that's what he can't comprehend. He keeps trying to steer it to a left-right thing, and people are beyond that now. They're going, no. You're involved too, bro.
That's where the nickname, the SHIT show came from. That was the crew nickname for Celebrity Apprentice. So when you hear Diaper Don, it's not a joke. He tries to hide it. I'll give you one more fact. If you look up the video of him when he was doing the WWF thing, he tackles a guy on the ground outside of the ring, and you can clearly see the outline of the Depends in his pants. And that was back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Arwen.
So
yeah, boy.
He's lost control of his bowels. He's lost control of his brain. That's who he is, Diaper Don.
Why is Don Jr. spilling all the beans?
Oh,
yeah, I know that guy looks like Don Jr.
Thought that was kind of weird.
Ooh. And of course, the comments never disappoint. The comments never disappoint.
Dude, wow. Crazy. I think you're a little generous on the legs there. But...
yeah.
Yeah, no shit, right? This is the thing that we're coming. What is this?
What's Elon wearing on his mouth, man? That's what I want to know.
He says the Mexican help is here to wipe and lick your ass. Did I mention, sir, I am Mexican? I lied on my visa application. It's shit all on his face. Gross.
Some are funny, some are stupid.
Yeah.
But what the fuck, right? So I thought that was a little interesting little side note.
So with Greenland, what's the thumbnail about?
Oh, well, he posted a picture on his Truth Social of him talking to world leaders with a map in the background that had the United States, Canada, Greenland, and Venezuela all with red, white, and blue flags on it like that. Just like it was part of America.
Didn't he want Canada to be part of America to start with?
Yeah.
That was the first.
Yeah.
51 states.
He's wanting to be president of the fucking world or something shit.
Oh, he's not a narcissist at all. No.
No, not one little bit. Not one little bit. Not one little bit. But here, this is kind of bad with what we've been seeing about these violations these people are doing, like, you know, just busting into people's houses and shit. A leaked memo shows ICE agents have been authorized by the Trump administration to illegally force entry into homes throughout America without a judicial warrant. It's a violation of it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. But hey, as long as you go ahead and put it in a fucking memo, I guess it's okay.
In a memo? Oh, okay, yeah.
Says memorandum for all ICE personnel from Todd Lyons, who's the acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It says on January 20th, 2025, President Donald J. Trump issued Executive Order 14159, protecting the American people against invasion, directing the Secretary of Homeland Security to ensure the successful enforcement of final orders of removal. And he's got all the regulation numbers and everything on there. Essential to the removal of aliens subject to final orders of removal is the ability to locate and arrest them. To this end, certain supervisory immigration officers with both enforcement and removal operations and Homeland Security investigations are authorized to issue an administrative warrant for the arrest of an alien with a final order of removal. Immigration and Customs Enforcement special agents and deportation officers are authorized to execute Forms 1-205 8 CFR section, whatever. Although the United States Department of Homeland Security is not historically relied on administrative warrants alone to arrest aliens subject to the final orders of removal in their place of residence, the DHS Office of the General Counsel has recently determined that the U.S. Constitution, the Immigration and Nationality Act, and the immigration regulations do not prohibit relying on administrative warrants for this purpose. Accordingly, in light of this legal determination, immigration officers may arrest and detain aliens subject to a final order of removal issued by, well, that's just people that they've already had to court and decided that they got to go. So I don't know about this. This here, whistleblower aid represents two anonymous. This policy directive authorizes immigration and customs enforcement agents to enter homes and residents without consent or in order to conduct arrests and removals without a warrant issued by the federal judge. But see, that thing whole right there is telling me that it's got to be that it's already, they've been to court and it's determined that they got to leave and then they haven't left. That's what that tells me, not just we think there might be an alien in here, so we're just going to bust in the door and take them. I don't see how I don't know, they misconstrue everything into whatever the fuck they want to. Whatever the fuck they want to. This is a dangerous, dangerous precedent. I've seen people say, oh, you got Trump derangement system. Listen, I don't give a fuck who it would be. Anybody that's running roughshod over that. And I'm not saying because of the Constitution either. I mean, that's what most people should be clamoring on about. But the reality of it is, what gives these people the authority? Where did that come from? I can't just bust into somebody's house and demand their papers or anything. I can't even bust in their house for any reason. You know, even if they were a criminal, if I busted in their house, I would go to jail for breaking and entering. So how in the fuck can they just go ahead and, well, we got suits and somebody signed a piece of paper, so therefore it is written. Mom, yes, why are women allowed at the stoning? Because it's written, Brian. That's why. Remember that was their answer. That's good enough for people, man. It's written, and they have suits. So there, double whammy. You got a suit and it's written. Well, shit. Nobody bothering to ask and say, wait a second. Where did you? If I don't have that authority, how did you get it? Where did that come from? Where did you get these magical powers to be able to go against natural law? Where did those come from? Or how did you get exempt from natural law?
We got this paper that says general welfare. So
yeah. What? According to who?
We take 12 people, put them in 12 different rooms, and ask them what general welfare means, and you'll get 12 different meanings.
Exactly. Same thing with their little slogan, "Make America Great Again." What does that mean?
Yep.
It's democracy at work.
12 different answers.
You voted for this. This is your democracy.
Remember, there was the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago, and then you had all these court cases and court cases. If they nail him and they stop him running for president, then okay. But I thought if these court cases go away, then it's the final confirmation, for me anyway, that he's owned by the deep state. Because the deep state is making these things happen. And they went away, one after the other. Then he comes in this time and he's pro-Israel on bloody steroids. He's giving them what they want. He's bombed Iran.
Future attacks would be far greater.
If people think that this guy is someone who's going to save them from the deep state, as they call it, well, he's owned by the deep state. What is Israel, the Mossad networks, the CIA networks? What are they except the deep state? I mean, wake up, people.
That's what I saw that too. And I was like, wait a minute. That's why I said early on, even before the election, I said, if he gets into the president, he's going to make Israel great again right away. Watch. Boom. did. And it's all part of that march toward this totalitarian surveillance state. That's exactly what they're trying to get set up. And this bullshit that they're pulling in Minnesota and everything that's the foot in the door. That's the foot in the door to get this fucking implemented everywhere. You see, it's going to revolve around something of, I don't know, some ICE agents brutally beaten or something. And luckily, cameras and technology were able to use facial recognition to find these wanted people and everything. We're going to have to put this everywhere so that we can't have people just going up against our legions of fucking stormtroopers. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
they're really talking about that guy standing on the corner with his freaking pistol.
Oh yeah, they don't like that.
Yeah, they really.
Well, I just had a nice little conversation with JJ. He came over to my restream. I like him. Yeah, he's a good guy. But Wesley seems to have a death wish, I think.
Why is that?
He's talking some major smack to people about stuff that has nothing to do with the topic in the arena. To begin with, he's going after ad hominem people.
You know how to fix that problem?
Don't pay attention to him.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, he keeps poking the bear, though. That's really what it is. He doesn't know when to shut up. Yeah. It's not me that in particular, but the thing is that you shouldn't bring other people's personal life into this stuff.
Where's he at doing this at?
Over on the TDD and in the comments, and then.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Huh. The drunk debunk show.
The drunk debunk show.
The drunk spunk.
The drunk spunk. Yeah.
You can buy that poster he has for $55, man.
Ooh, well, I'll tell you what. That's what I'm after.
He's bringing the truth to the flat Earth.
There he is. See, what is he live right now or something?
No, JJ was saying he was over there like the other day. He was watching there's a flat earther that went on the panel with him. She just took all of the panel on, including like McToon, Wesley, and everybody else were just sitting there ridiculing her and stuff. He was proud of it. Yeah.
The best thing to do with that dude, I don't never see anything from him. I blocked his ass. I don't want anything to. I already know what he's about. I already know what he's about. He's one of these fucktards that got caught for something, and he's having to do this, man. Now, y'all thought I was out of my mind when I said that why would government go and after these scumbags and shit like that and put them in a position like that? Well, check this out. ICE has been recruiting out of fucking prisons, bro.
Nice. Yeah. Criminals.
What I'm about to tell you it should shock you. But then again, in the current state we're living in, maybe it won't. So I have a guy that I mentor to, and he's been in prison for some years. He went from a level 5, which is the worst one. He's in level 1. He's about to hit the streets. The debt to society is paid. And he's hit the streets in about 5 months. They are literally heavily recruiting inside the prison for ICE agents. Let me say that again. They are heavily recruiting inside the prison system for ICE agents. And here's the hook. Do you want to be a successful citizen when you return to the streets? Do you want to carry a gun? You want your right to carry a gun returned to you? Do you want to fight for the United States? Do you want to subvert all the damage that's being done by these undesirables? Well, then join ICE. Here's the thing about it. That literally goes against what they're saying. We want undesirables out. We want the people that have done bad. We want to get them out. You are recruiting in the prison. Let that sink in. But here's the real truth. It matters not who's in control as long as my father is on the throne. So as always, get right or get left. The term, there's no atheist in foxholes, is going to have a new meaning real soon.
It's funny you mentioned foxholes because guess what, guy? The military's been doing this forever.
Yep.
Yep.
Literally,
I was
it's some
literally
people's-
I was
Go
in
ahead.
with a guy who had to do 8 years in the army or was 15 years in prison.
That's what I'm saying. So did I. I knew plenty of people. It was their last chance at getting things straightened out, or
But
go
he
to.
got
Go
blown up. He got blown up. And he had to walk with a cane now, fucking so he messed up.
I guess, yeah.
He said he regretted it. He wished he would have went and did the time. You know,
Really?
he couldn't walk right. You know,
Yeah.
like half
I
his
knew.
butt cheek was gone.
Oh, nice.
I worked with gang members, dudes that were literally part of gangs, when they weren't in their garb, their military garb. They're going and doing gang shit after work, stealing tires and radios and everything else.
A soldier by day and thief by night.
Pretty much. Well, that's like when we would go to the field and stuff, we'd park our cars in the motor pool parking lot and we'd come back and guys freaking cars were up on jack stands with all the tires gone. It's like, how would anybody know that? Oh, wait, we've got plans.
God damn it.
Reminds me of my teenage years.
Would you steal
Your teenage years?
We had a friend who had a paper route early in the morning, so we would go through the rich neighborhood and scout cars for radios and stuff.
How dare you?
And we were making $75 a pop off of Pioneer Super Tuners and stuff.
So that's what was happening when I was delivering papers every morning. Got
Yep.
Roger out there stealing my stuff.
Well,
I quit doing that. The boy
I'm
got
just
caught.
messing with
He
you,
started
man.
narking people out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't turn on your friends, dude. Yeah.
Trump told a group of people in Europe at Davos. This is funny as shit. Y'all know who Klaus Schwab is, right?
Oh,
famous
not
robot
everybody can
polisher.
be, yeah, there you go.
Never heard of him. What?
And you know Switzerland, and Austria.
Never been there.
And okay, so he literally told these people that if it wasn't for the United States in World War II, they'd all be speaking German. You can't make that up, man.
Yeah,
he
no, I've heard
literally
it too.
he really said this shit. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Watch this guy.
Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. I settled 8 other wars: India, Pakistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iceland. They loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time.
I knew that was
Every
coming.
smart man said, he's our daddy. The problem with NATO is that we'll be there for them 100%, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. If we gave them the call, they're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. We want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force. But I won't do that. The cost of prescription drugs is coming down by up to 90%, depending on the way you calculate. You could also say 5, 6, 7, 800%. There are 2 ways of figuring that. I'll be announcing a new Fed chairman in the not too distant future. I think he'll do a very good job. See, I gave away some of it. They give that away. So we have something, got something. Minnesota. We actually are helping Minnesota so much, but they don't appreciate it. I know Gavin was here. I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy. I will say this, if I were a Democrat governor or whatever, I would call up Trump. I'd say, come on in, make us look good. I know so many people from Switzerland, incredible place, incredible, brilliant place. But I then realized that they're only good because of us. And there's so many other examples. I mean, us, probably other places. The Spanish flu in World War I ended the war because all the soldiers were sick. The soldiers were so sick on both sides. From the Spanish flu, they were sick as dogs. They couldn't fight.
What? Hold up. You mean the Spanish flu that happened after the war?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Uh-huh. Did he actually say anything in that at all? you could actually comprehend at all. None of it made sense whatsoever.
It was so it would seem that just shit pours out of both ends of him.
Apparently. Where'd the term?
Unregulated. What? Chad?
I was just gonna say, where'd the term "sick as a dog" come from? I always wondered that.
I don't know.
Seems like a weird. I'm gonna look that one up.
We do just casually use that though. You know,
I know it's like I don't. Are dogs really even that sick that often? I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're not walking around getting colds all the time or anything. But
no, Fabio will sneeze every once in a while. Usually, right when I'm hugging on him, he'll sneeze.
Every time you say it, I picture Fabio the model, just like.
Oh, he is a beautiful dog. He's a very, very handsome German Shepherd. I mean, when you take him out for a walk or something, you constantly got, oh my God, what a beautiful dog. He's always got compliments like that.
I knew it was a mistake to look that up. It's gonna be some fake bull crap.
Is it?
Yeah, here's YouTube, or excuse me, same thing.
Okay.
Google's meaning of it. The term "sick as a dog" originated in the 1700s. Of course it did. First recorded in 1705 to describe extreme sickness, likely because dogs were often seen as lowly disease scavengers, leading to negative comparisons. Okay.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a little, we had a Cocker Spaniel my dad got for the family. And I go out to the beach in Myrtle Beach, and I take that dog for a walk down the beach. Man, the chicks would not stop talking.
Oh, yeah. Dogs are good.
Dog.
What do you say back to him?
No, nothing. I started the conversation from that point.
Oh.
That's the whole.
And they said, "Get away from us, creep. We want to pet the dog."
We were talking to the dog, not you.
Yeah, the dog's cute, not you, buddy. We're here for the dog. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. Let me see here. A little bit here. I'm going to get into that second recording of Sascha Riley.
Sascha?
Yeah.
What
Are you not familiar?
No, not really. No, you have to school me on Sascha.
Okay, so this guy is recorded in this interview talking about how he was trafficked by his adopted father, who flew planes for Epstein and other people. And that he was eventually trafficked in the higher echelons of this seedy business. And one of the abusers that he talks about is Donald Trump. And his story is really quite shocking. And the Diaper Don moniker he may be actually the one responsible for that. Because he talks about in one of his encounters, he put a condom on a tent peg and put it into Trump's starfish.
Oh, wonderful.
Which Trump was wanting him to do. I guess Trump might have thought it was his dinger or whatever. But he put it in there, and then he said he kicked it as hard as he fucking could. Trump doubled over in pain and screaming and shit. And they had to airlift his ass out of there in one of those medical helicopters.
What was the condom for?
To keep the
I
dirt
guess
out of it.
so he wouldn't feel that it was wood.
Wouldn't they have killed him or kicked his butt or something?
What's that? Yeah, and he tells about what happened afterwards, though. And the thing is that one of the things during one of the incidents is one of the traffickers told him that when they killed this girl, he told him, says, "Don't worry." He says, "Boys are harder to find."
I thought maybe it was to protect the tent peg from STDs.
Oh, that might have been the case too. That might have been the case too. And where is the tent peg today? That's what we need to find out.
Good question.
It's probably still
the bottom of Lake Michigan.
Bottom of Lake Michigan.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh God, so dark.
I'm just thinking about rectal bleeding. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, well, apparently they had to do some kind of surgery because this dude said he ripped him open. He really.
Well, yeah.
So.
Goodness gracious.
And, you know, considering the circumstances, good for you. The dude says I was trying to kill him. That's what the dude said. He says he was pissed when he found out it didn't kill him.
Damn it.
And to this day, he's had a hard time completing putting up his tent.
Oh, yeah. Raising that tent.
Yeah. It's been one peg short.
It'll always blow over without that fourth peg.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. See, little things pop through my head real fast. So little scenarios. I could see him at Camp David because he's stupid and he thinks it's literally a camp. You know,
right?
He's like, we need a tent peg. He pulls one out of his ass and goes, I got one right here.
Here I am to save the day.
I knew this thing had come in handy.
It was a wood tent peg, right? Of course.
I would imagine. I don't, you know, they didn't get too specific, but I mean, if you're putting a condom on it, I would imagine it's probably one of those wooden tent stakes.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get the shit off the wood.
Splinters.
Oh, ouch. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably why he put the condom on it. He didn't want to give the poor old fucker splinters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I have a tent here that has metal tent pegs. I mean,
yeah, most of them do now.
Or fiberglass, yeah, one of the two.
Oh, how fast does his asshole heal? His ear heals fast.
Yeah, well, it's if his ear grew back like that, his asshole sure didn't because he's still bloated. he's still shitting in a fit of rage. Today too. Sits down and you see those people that hear him fucking shit himself, and you know that they can start smelling it. That's why there was a strange thing happened at Davos. They had to evacuate the main venue today. They said there was this weird smell. Nobody knew what it was. And come to find out what they're saying, it was due to a small fire. But I looked at the comments under it, and everybody was going, oh, yeah, probably one of Trump's shitty diapers. He probably shit himself. You know, shit, it was everywhere. It's everywhere. That's why I'm saying it would be funny as hell for people to send tent pegs to the White House. Just go on Amazon, order a wooden tent peg, and fucking send it to Trump. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. That's the address. Need it.
This story is going to go down. I'm telling you. The tent peg of doom.
Just get a Trump flag and erect it with tent pegs and hand it over to him.
A tent peg with a little tent pegs with them little Trump flags on them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Sell them for souvenirs, man.
Yeah.
You ever seen those barbed tent pegs? You know, they got the reverse barb on them.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have.
Great t-shirt idea.
Yeah.
That must have been something else. That kid, he's like, this is going to be the last time. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
It's not what I meant when I said I wanted pegged.
Right? He does like pegging. Well, a little Gestapo dude was out amongst the rabble today. He actually threw some tear gas. He threw some gas. Now, I want to know what the fuck. I've never seen this before, but they're using this gas that's green. Did you see that?
No, I haven't. Today, and even as the snow has picked up, the forces of Greg Badino are out in a way that I think we're now used to seeing on the streets of Minneapolis. The guy who just said he was a veteran of that war in Afghanistan walked by me and said he's driving around town like an Afghan warlord. He's never seen anything like it. And I want to show you some video of Greg Badino earlier today. We rolled up on this scene in South Minneapolis moments after he was there, himself personally throwing canisters of some type of chemical agent.
How's that guy like?
Whoa. You know what it reminds me of? The Jack Nicholson Batman.
Yeah.
I bet it's psychological. I bet it's not really anything.
Come on, this is all fake.
Yeah, it looks like a smoke grenade.
Yeah, I bet it's psychological, just to give it the effect of something bad.
That's what I'm
Those-
wondering what it was. It looks really iridescent, like it's
Yeah.
like a marker,
Yeah.
puffing green smoke or puffing red smoke or whatever for
They do the same thing in battle, use psychological gas.
Yeah, the
and
thing
stay
is,
on.
they're outnumbered, though, aren't they?
They-
Guys, the ICE are outnumbered. The public has got them nailed. They weren't going nowhere.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
if they did that in my town, they wouldn't survive.
I tell you what, they're probably not going to be doing too much protesting this weekend up there.
No, I don't
gonna have to
know.
watch out for the exploding trees.
Exploding trees.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I heard
so
about
funny.
that.
Cubby sent me that thing about the exploding trees, and it was right after my wife had just got done showing me that exact same post of the thing about exploding trees. And I was telling her, I was like, I ain't never heard of that shit ever in my
No.
entire life. I lived in Michigan. We got some fucking cold weather up there. Never heard about no trees blowing up or anything else. And I'm like, what the fuck is this going? There's something new here. Maybe in this new reality.
Yeah, maybe from chemtrails destroying the trees.
Yeah,
might be.
Might have something
you
new
remember
pop up.
what happened in Southern California when the first fires broke out there? The trees were actually burning from the inside out, right?
That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah,
That's some kind
yeah.
of weird crap they got going on. I don't know. They just create these new scenarios now. It's
Yeah, they're
stuff
not telling-
it's all an assault on our senses, man. It's like, to make you disremember everything that you used to remember, growing all the way till this point. Like all of a sudden everything you used to remember is just like, oh, that don't happen anymore, or this is something new, or it's just an assault on your senses to make you question everything that you think.
You remember the sunflower thing? Remember
No.
talking about the chemtrails actually?
Oh yeah, they're
sunlight?
facing a different direction.
Yeah, they normally do turn with the sun. They actually,
Yeah,
just goes through. And
that's what I mean. These scenarios that they're creating is just like nobody can fathom any of this stuff happening throughout their life, up to this
Remember
point.
that.
And then all of a sudden we got all these new things coming out of nowhere.
Like the World Economic Forum.
Right.
Trump there?
Yeah, that's him there at the thing.
Nice.
Listen.
So that was the end of the mothball story. So what we have gotten out of NATO is nothing. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years. And the United States is back, bigger, stronger, better than ever before. And I'll see you around.
Oh, nice. He's like Daft Punk. Build it, work
Yeah,
it.
we don't believe that shit.
He's like going, we're America, you need us, we're great, you're not, fuck you.
Yeah. There's a big
Wow.
world out there, besides America. I'm pretty sure the
I
world
don't
will
know.
continue without us.
I mean, it doesn't make much sense. Like he works with those people. I can't see. He's just like the bad guy in the WWE coming to the WEF, basically to act like he's.
He admitted to being a dictator, basically. Listen to this.
Yeah, that's his
We
job.
had a good speech. We got great reviews. I can't believe it. We got good reviews in that speech. Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person. I'm a dictator. But sometimes you need a dictator. But they didn't say that in this case. And no, it's common sense. It's all based on common
Sometimes
sense. It's not conservative or liberal or anything else. It's mostly, let's say 95% common sense. And that's what we have.
sometimes you need a dictator, he says.
He's got 95% sometimes common sense. Is that for real?
I don't think he's got any sense.
No.
To tell you the truth. I think there's something really wrong with him.
They all just read a script. Come on.
Yeah, they got a teleprompter. That's all he uses.
I can't stop laughing about this. This dude, somebody on here said that Bovino looks like a Nazi lesbian grandma.
Huh?
Yeah, he
Her
said he
name-
looked like
Gretchen, right?
I can't unsee it now.
That's
Oh, yeah, I see it.
he was in that last
can't
clip
see
here.
that now.
He was in that last. This guy is freaking everywhere, and he's
Oh,
the only
yeah,
one
yeah.
that doesn't wear the mask. That's interesting too.
Oh yeah, he's wanting to be out there. He's had these coats that are like designed like Hugo Boss,
Yeah.
So he can look like a Gestapo dude and shit. He's eating that up. He's eating it up. He loves that.
It's
You
just
got that
weird to
leather
me that
strap.
he's the only one that isn't wearing the strap too. That he's the only one that isn't wearing the mask.
Huh.
I've seen a few agents out there that don't have the mask.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
pretty
I've seen
ballsy.
you. Yeah. And actually, the people that are being confronted with the people without a mask say, "We appreciate you not wearing the mask." It's like, well,
I
haven't heard
respect
that
it. At
one
least
yet.
you got the balls to fucking stand what you believe in.
I've noticed that a lot of them are Hispanic.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Sure,
They're sitting there
they take all
going,
kinds.
let me see your papers. You know, what do you
That
need to
didn't
see my
sound
papers?
Hispanic,
Because you have an accent. It's like, you got a fucking accent. You know, it's like,
Well,
I don't know.
remember some of those girls I was talking to at Arby's about flat Earth and stuff, and two of
Yeah.
them are Mexican. Now we're talking about ice, and I brought it up and like, you know, I'm Hispanic, right? I'm like, what does that got to do with ice? You know, It's like, yeah, they're going around trying to deport everybody, but they're not here doing it. They're getting mad about it. The media's got them all hyped up over it.
Oh
People
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter what the target is. Okay. To me, it doesn't, I'm not worried about what so much the target as the tactics that are being implemented to achieve that goal. Okay.
Yeah.
We have very firm and definitive rules against infringing on these unalienable rights that we have, or that we're told that we have, that you actually do. They're not granted to you by the government. They're granted to you by God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's got me. Okay, whether they're going after somebody because of their race or because of their political beliefs or because of whatever, because they collected rainwater, I don't give a fuck. We don't do this. We don't do this. This is not what we're about. And if people aren't mad, if they don't stop this right here, well, what's to stop them from doing it with everything else? Nothing.
What do you think? Go ahead.
We've been doing this for how long, though? You know, look at the Native Americans. How many times they get screwed over and slaughtered? You know, we've been doing it for hundreds of years. So,
What do they do when all the so-called illegal immigrants are gone? You think that's
Right.
where it stops? What do you do when your usefulness has been used up? You think they're just not going to get rid of you? You know,
Right.
these tyrannical entities, they don't care. Once you've done their job, it's off with you. You know, don't just stop at this.
Well, that's why they make up all those policies and stuff to oppress us even further, because they need to justify their existence. They make money off of it.
Well, their whole thing is, if you got to think of it like Chad was just saying, it's like, okay, all the immigrants are gone. Let's go, right?
Sure.
We don't need to be doing this. We don't need to be out in the streets doing this anymore, right? No. They're going to expand the scope of their operations. That's
exactly.
It's going to be hard to live. Really, it's going to get harder to live if that happens.
These people do this for their pleasure. So part of their pleasure is done. They move on to the next part, which would be to get rid of whoever they were using before. You know, that's going to be their new pleasure, is to see those people either fighting amongst each other or get rid of those people. It never stops. Their entertainment never stops. They've always got to have something going for them.
Oh, from the micro to the macro.
Yeah.
Because even like with this Sascha Riley, and you'll hear him talk about this, that they had these parties and they'd have the kids fight each other, or two fucking hillbillies do bare knuckle boxing until one of them was completely unconscious or dead. You know, I mean, they like it on all levels. They thrive off the suffering, the misery, and the violence. They thrive off that, as long as it's not toward them.
Then they play the victim. Yeah, and that's
Right,
like all
right.
for us.
That's like psychopathic murderers. They start killing animals when they're little, and then they graduate up from there. Why? Because they just get sicker and sicker, and their obsession just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, they enjoy it. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
This is a bad precedent, and I hear these people going out there, yeah, they're just getting rid of the violent criminals. not seeing him getting rid of violent criminals. I see him pulling mothers out of their minivan and leaving the kid in the car. Nobody, I mean,
yeah.
I'm seeing, well, if you're worried about them, for what reason? That they're sucking off your tax money? Well, wait a minute. You have to be a citizen to get tax benefits, right? At least that's what I've always understood. Maybe there's your problem right there. But why are you having to go to their fucking jobs to arrest them? That in itself should tell you something. They're working. And they're finding their homes from their tax records. Wow. So what the fuck is the problem, man?
I don't
look like it. I'm sure that your trade Gualalala fucking gang people ain't filing taxes and shit like that. You seem to know where they're at, because you show them on the news taking over apartment buildings and everything. So, why are you not getting them? Why are you going after these people that are just trying to live, man? What the fuck?
Everybody's got a cell phone.
Yeah.
They don't need tax records.
They're using that.
Yeah, that's an excuse.
They're using the phones. They're using,
of course they are.
These phones. They got this facial shit. That's why they're wanting to take everybody's picture. They got facial recognition shit they're using.
Add your face to the pile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got the cure for everybody. They need to taste the biscuit.
They do need to taste the biscuit. We all need to taste the biscuit from time to time.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
And today all the blue tags are half off.
Yeah, there you go. Put in little ads for the thrift store there. My wife back there, I can hear her. She just let the dogs back in. She goes, she's out of his fucking mind.
No shit. And by the way, Rhonda's at the thrift store right now. She's over at the Ark shopping.
Oh.
I know.
Have you shared that gem of a song with her yet?
No, I will though. Next time when she gets here. Yeah.
You absolutely should. It's the good thrift store music too.
It is.
Might get you in the mood to go and get you some KFC or something. You know what I'm saying?
Honey sauce.
And honey sauce and buttered biscuits and butter your own biscuit, fat ass, right?
Oh,
that's so funny.
In Minneapolis, this family with 6 children, with one as young as 6 months old, got kind of caught in the incident as they were driving to basketball practice. ICE released a canister of tear gas, and the mother described giving her infant CPR. We're showing that video there.
The family was caught up in that situation because of violent protesters that were impeding law enforcement operations.
They've got an 11-year-old, 7-year-old, 4-year-old twins, 2-year-old, and the 6-month-old baby in a van. And the 2 parents. They're driving back from the basketball game. They run into a bunch of ICE agents blocking their path, and they start screaming at them. They're like, get out of here, get out of here. They're like, well, get out of our way. We'll get out of here. And they're worried because the parents later said they're worried about Renee Good, what happened to her. So they're like freaking out. And then they feel an explosion under the car. The car lifts up off the ground. Airbags release. The doors all lock. So now they're trapped in the car, and the car's filling up with gas, and all the kids are getting tear gassed. Neighbors run out of the houses. They pull the kids out of the car. And the last one they pull out of the van is the infant who's not breathing and not conscious. And the mother starts doing CPR on the baby, but can't really breathe herself. ICE agents are standing around, don't do anything, begging the ICE agents to let the EMTs through. They won't. Finally, a Minneapolis police officer gets through the ICE agents, gets the baby, brings them to the hospital, and then the baby starts breathing again. And this family is completely traumatized. The first tweet from the Department of Homeland Security is, these parents are violent agitators who should not have brought their children to a protest. Then they delete it because they're liars. Trisha McLaughlin's a fucking liar. Disgusting. The worst. Now their new line is, well, it's the protesters' fault because since there were protesters nearby, the protesters forced the ICE agents to explode a canister under a car that they knew was carrying 6 children because they had been talking to the people. Is there no apology coming to this? Like, no apology, no, like, we will try to do better, no nothing. Like, Kristi Noem just sits there, looks at Margaret Brennan, and has, like, just no emotion about it whatsoever. Like, no fucking empathy for this family. She's a grandmother, she's a mother, nothing.
Huh.
Sounds about normal.
Yeah, it does.
We see it all the time, and they'll raid this wrong house, shoot the freaking dog.
Yeah, man.
Or the person, you know.
I saw this.
There's no recourse for these people either. Like you can't use the judicial system, or you can't civil court. Like there's no civil liabilities, nothing.
I know. This was pretty good, bro. I sent this to Cody.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I want one. This is great.
You guys have got to see this. I'm in Los Angeles, California, and I almost thought I was in the wrong neck of the woods until I turned left on these posters. Hold on, look. To the right, make America great again, and then slightly to the left. Oh, hold on. To the right, to the left. These are all over the city. You guys have got to see this. I'm in Los Angeles, California, and I almost thought I was in the wrong neck.
Somebody needs to get me one of those for me, man.
We got one that can see. Yeah.
Somebody spent some money.
See.
Yeah. I gotta get a pair of those glasses.
Wonder how you go about finding one of those.
I don't know.
I got one more on this. This is a pretty good encounter between what the guy's name, and then I'm going to go to the Sascha Riley thing. This is great because I love listening to these people try to explain their position and they can't.
True or false?
What's that, bro?
Did we allow millions of people unvetted into this country, many of them who are criminals, rapists, child molesters, child rapists, murderers, gangbangers, people killing people with fentanyl?
Immigrants commit crimes at a lower rate than native-born Americans. That's a fact.
Tell that to any
Go
family
ahead.
members had
Here's
someone
the
killed
thing.
by an illegal
I
immigrant.
think that what I'm hearing a lot is the Democrats, Biden. Dr. West explained that. And I think the thing is, it's not political to say that we don't want murderers in our country. We don't want pedophiles in our country. We want those people identified and we want those people punished.
Then why are you
That
not
is
working with ICE to
do
get
not
rid of them?
interrupt Hold on me. a second. Just
No,
give
but
me-
it's a
I
fair
said
question.
Hold on a nothing. second. Just let her. And you
No,
keep
but you just
talking.
said you want to get rid of ICE.
Let's let her make
Okay.
her point so we can understand what she's trying to say. Go ahead.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lee.
We all want that. Okay. And if Donald Trump wants to get on TV and say, our problem is we haven't highlighted our accomplishments enough, I would say, great, highlight your accomplishments. Prove it. Prove you are getting the worst of the worst. Show us the murderers and the rapists and the killers that you are arresting. Stop yourself. Then tell us
They
you're
had
not
a
rounding
podium
up.
with the
You can't
pictures.
stop
Hang on a
yourself,
second.
man.
Hang on a second.
Zip it.
Please.
No, I'm sorry,
Well,
you're not
Ben-
my mom.
Ben-
and second of all, you don't get to
hold-
make it
hold
up.
on,
We've
hold
had
on,
the
wait, wait.
posters at the White House. The people that have been
just
asking you said,
one-
show them to me. We have
Ben-
showed them to
Ben,
you.
just a second.
You don't like it.
Ben, just a second. I'll say one thing and then I'm going to let her finish. They have released a short list of names, but they've also claimed that they've arrested thousands of murderers and rapists and criminals. They have not released the full list of thousands of alleged murderers, rapists, and criminals. So
Thank you for bringing that point home. You keep saying this thousands. Show us evidence of that. They don't. They just say it. That's what this whole thing is. They just say shit.
that's also true. Now continue.
Prove you're not roofers and abuelas and healthcare workers, and you're giving them actual due process and cause. Prove you are saving innocent lives and not just taking them on the street. Prove you have any sort of system, that you aren't just arbitrarily setting up checkpoints and pulling people out that are brown or Asian or black. Prove that you have citizenship, that you're checking, that you're making sure you're not taking citizens. Prove that you're not jumping people at work and setting up checkpoints as people just try to drive home to their neighborhoods. Because this is the same administration that said, here's our health plan. Don't look at it. Empty binders. Here's the thing where I'm going to get away from all of my businesses. Empty binders. And
so
that said,
let me
here's the
respond to what you
Epstein
just
files.
said.
So I'm going to give them all to you.
So
now I can't.
I'm going to go
So
back and
can
answer
you
your
prove
question.
to me
I'm going
that
to
you are
answer
not
the
taking
question.
innocent people,
hold
civilians,
on.
and you're not beating them on the street.
Hold on.
Prove it to
Ben,
me
we're
because
going
you
to
cannot.
stop here.
See, they have to keep up this front that this is, it's about immigration. It's not. It isn't. It isn't one bit about immigration. That's the That's just what they're saying it's about, because it looks to me like they're just grabbing up everybody. They're just wanting to be a chaotic force in this area. They're trying to start something so that they can get some violence rolling. I know that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly. And it's also, and she brought it up again too, that woman. It's also to keep you from talking about the fucking disgusting proclivities of this guy and his friends and the rest of the people that are running everything around you, your banks, your judicial institutions, your fucking country clubs, making your movies, all these fucking people, these people that you can't ever touch, those people that you only ever see behind a screen, man. These are the ones you got to watch for. These are the monsters. These are the fucking monsters. And I literally mean that. I literally mean monsters. I literally do. And when you hear some of this, it's going to just really shape your balls. What's
I agree
that?
I agree with some of that. The only problem with these news anchor people is that if the shoe's on the other foot, they'd be clamoring for people to get locked. They'd probably want flat earth locked up, honestly. But they're the same people that want, it doesn't matter which thing it is. They both go at each other from both sides. But it's like, oh, they're locking up illegal immigrants. Well, these will be the same people that want like Christians locked up or whatever.
Right. Well, they did. They did.
Yeah.
Think about it. They wanted the vaxxers and the passport people.
Right.
They want right. Okay. Where were they primarily? They're the most vocal right now about this. And it's like, look, this is blanket. Okay. This isn't left, right. Get off that fucking plantation team mentality. Get off of that.
Yeah.
People got to get off of that. It's us versus them. We are their fucking cattle. That's how they view us. We're just useless eaters. That's what they call us. Useless eaters.
It's like whatever the current thing is that they're outraged about, and it goes both ways.
They're going to deport all the people claiming to be U.S. nationals or state nationals?
Very good question. I have that same question too, because it's like, wait a minute.
I've been seeing the push the last few years.
They rounded up some Native Americans. Now, where is it they intend to deport them to?
The res.
That they were just off the res visiting somebody. They live on the res.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
They're gonna make it so you got to have a fucking passport to go between reservation and United States. Fuck all that. I'm not going to be an employee of your corporation. So therefore I'm not a citizen. Fuck you. What are you going to do? What are you going to deport me? You can try. It's not going to go well at all. I see armed men coming up to try to grab me, and I haven't done anything. I have not committed a crime. I'm going to shoot first and ask questions later. That's just all there is to that. That's all there is to it. Look at there. Brian Wilson is a circle of despair.
Hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens as well.
Deport him. Deport all the circles.
Deport him. I'll deport his ass
deport
right
him,
off. I'll deport his ass right off of here immediately. So anyway, last time we listened to this first one, let's go ahead and get into this second one. This is a guy who claims that he was trafficked, and that some of the abusers, one in primary was, well, Jim Jordan, also Donald Trump. He said that at these wild, weird parties and shit, he saw people like Lindsey Graham and Clarence Thomas and the like. So anyway, let's get into this. What's happening, RG? All right.
Hey,
then.
what's up, brother?
All right.
I was just I'm going to jump back off, but I was just listening to the conversation, and this is iridescent, man, eerily similar to sending the middle-aged men and young men off to war and gathering up everybody. Trump was talking about insane asylums, orphan
Yeah, yeah.
trains. So this is kind of, oh man, it's teeter-tottering on all the research we've done in a way.
Well, he did.
So I
He
just
did
wanted to
sign an
mention that.
executive. He did sign an executive order to bring back mental institutions
Yeah, so this shit's looking crazy,
just
man.
the other day. He was. That's when he was talking about how he could be a major league baseball player because his mom said he was good at little league.
Yeah, he could be a good ballerina too and a good bullshitter. Uh, but yeah, man. Hey, I just wanted to mention that, guys. Keep safe for sure, man. Y'all
Right
keep
on.
y'all's heads up.
Well, with this weather coming too, man, there's going to be some bad shit with this weather, I believe.
Yeah, I'm hitting we're hitting the hotel Friday. So
Yeah.
just
So
be safe.
be prepared for like power outages and the like. So
What area are you in, RG? Are you down south?
I'm in the Appalachian Mountains, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Northeast or southeast. So, yep, in northeast Georgia. In the crazy
All right.
woods.
A little bit better than up north, but yeah, it's still gonna be cold there too.
yeah, that gets, northern Georgia gets right cold sometimes, man.
Oh man, now I need one.
What?
I think a bong hit.
Oh hell yeah! Everybody hit the bong because here we go.
All right, guys. I'm gonna hang out and watch here in the chat. Appreciate you, bro.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I'm just checking here.
So to kind of recap what we were just talking about, one of the first memories, or one of the first memories that seared itself into my consciousness because of being what I perceived as a threat as a child, was watching Donald Trump kill a litter of puppies. He did it in a variety of ways. As I stood there, they made me stand there, and he would harm or kill the puppy and then look to see what my reaction was. And in my child's brain, that registered because I viewed him as somebody more dangerous than my parents, and I knew that they would hurt me. So in my ability to reason, my reasoning was, if they were worse people than my parents, that they were somebody that might kill me. So that is why he was so. That's why I most of the stuff I just tried to forget, but with him, with Andy, and with Jim, I remembered them because they. The truth is, they scared me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to summarize a bit about what.
The Andy he speaks of is Congressman Andy Biggs from Arizona.
What we had discussed, that. So with Trump, when Trump murdered the puppies and forced you to watch, you were 8 or 9 years old. That was your first remembrance of Trump. And had Trump sexually assaulted and tortured you already?
Maybe, but I don't recall. I think what happened, and I'm relatively certain, but I think that was the precursor to him sexually assaulting me.
So
I think that was in an effort to make the experience as brutal as possible for me. That was the same kind of MO that was used with Patricia later on.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed to be that he would use his imagination as such to try to figure out what ways would be the most traumatic, to make the most traumatic experience, to destroy somebody, kind of traumatize somebody to the maximum potential possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first template of that, was watching him kill those puppies. And then the next higher order of that, and I couldn't tell you exactly how much time passed between, but I would say likely a couple of years, or at least a year later, before the instance with Patricia.
Okay. And the incident with Patricia
And
was
and
when,
at that point,
yeah.
at that point, I had already, in my mind, I had already thought there's no way I'm going to live through this anyway. They're just, they're just going to torture me to death anyway. So I might as well do everything I can to fight back.
Okay. And so with the incident with Patricia, then recapping, they told you to go into another room with Patricia. There was film? They were filming?
No.
There wasn't filming in such a case?
What happened with me and Patricia, my dad, before we got to the party, said, hey, there may be somebody you know. I had been trafficked with her previously, but she and I were as close to being friends as you could be. We were, in the same boat as far as, our station in life. So we had kind of become friends, and she ran up to me, and I can remember she saying, hey, come go with me. And I said, I can't. And my dad said, no, it's okay. You guys go off and have fun. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, you can go just have fun. You're an adult now. And I can remember thinking in my mind, I was wondering, what happens next? And the only thing that I knew of really of being an adult was my dad. And I knew that he didn't go to these parties and get assaulted. So in my mind, I thought, well, maybe that part of my life is over. But anyway, we left. We wound up going into the farmhouse. We went into the room not at the behest of anybody else. She wanted to have sex with me because she knew I wouldn't hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, I wouldn't swear to this part, but I am relatively certain she and I had already made some movies together, off, not at the farm, but at a shoot. But I didn't have sex in a way that brutalized people, because I kind of knew how that felt. So it was a matter of her kind of choosing somebody to try to go have sex with. So she wouldn't be placing her life in danger by having sex with one of these rich guys. So we went in and started having sex. This was not in front of anybody. It wasn't filmed that I know of. It was just, we kind of, if we were going to have the opportunity to go have sex with somebody, we were going to go have sex with each other, because that, in that instance, neither of us would get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But while we were in that room, after some period of time, the people at that party busted in, 6, 5, 6, 8 maybe people, big people, adults. At least one of them had a gun. I think 3 or 4 of them had a gun, to be honest with you. But then they assaulted her with me at gunpoint, and then they killed her in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And said, that's what's going to happen to you if you don't do everything the next person that walks in this room what they want.
Do you think they knew Trump was going to walk in the room? Do you think they had premeditated that Trump would walk in the room next?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was just part of the experience for him, to traumatize me. And for all I know, he was watching through a crack in the wall. I don't know about that.
So like an escalation from the puppies.
Yes.
Now, see, the thing that gets me, this does sound fantastic. This sounds fantastic. But none of these people he mentions, and they're very prominent people, including Donald Trump, have bothered to lift a finger to try and sue this guy for defamation or libel or slander or anything. And the thing that gets me about that is Trump is a fucking litigious son of a bitch. And this guy, he files more lawsuits than anybody you've ever seen. And nothing on this. Same thing with Jim Jordan. Same thing with Andy Biggs.
Does he got to wait till he's done being president?
No, he doesn't. And Andy Biggs doesn't have to wait or anything else like that either. There's nothing. They just say, oh, these are unsubstantiated allegations. Well, they're quite defamatory. And people have been digging into this and shit. I've been looking at some other stuff on the Substack that they found. They've gone back. They've got this guy's birth certificate, which is rather interesting because his birth parents were in Oklahoma, but the adoption papers come from Germany. And I believe there's a Deutsche Bank connection, which is the bank that was doing business with Epstein. They've been caught up in a lot of dark shit and laundering. So, I don't know. There's some more smoke. Everything else about his story checks out. Even there being these kind of farms down there where they go and these people have sex with little kids and torture them and whatnot. They just busted one the other day in Alabama where there was these kids in this dungeon that they had, man. And people were paying them money to come there and, do whatever. You didn't see that much in the main line, did you? But it happened. So, and this is exactly in the area where this guy was doing this interview or, describing in this interview where he was trafficked at. His parents were started out making, CP and selling that and trafficking this kid and other kids. And they weren't high-end clientele. So there were a lot of risk for a little bit of money. Until they hit the mother lode and got a connection that put them in touch with the elites who pay way more. And so they were pretty fucking stoked to get a $25,000 payout, see, which in late 70s, early 80s, that was a lot of fucking money. Or yeah, early 80s. That was a lot of money. So I don't know, man.
Okay. So Trump would traumatize you first and then sexually assault you. There was the incident with when Trump murdered the puppies and forced you to watch. And then the incident when Trump had Patricia killed.
Yes.
Okay. And then that's the incident with Patricia we spoke about where Trump assaulted you, tortured you, and then Trump wanted you to engage in sex with Trump, and you found the tent peg and got a condom on and then inserted the condom in Trump's anus,
and kicked it as hard as I could.
And kicked as hard as you could. Yeah. Yeah.
And my plan was to continue hurting him to death, but as soon as I did that, he started screaming, and those same people busted back in. So.
And then what occurred?
My dad was at that party, obviously not in that room. It was just these other people, but we did not get assaulted or anything at that party. They didn't know what to do at that point. So we left. We didn't get beat up. I didn't get further assaulted by anyone, but some period of time passed, a week, 2 weeks, 6 weeks. I couldn't tell you how much time, but I can remember my dad saying, "We've got to go face the music." So, I can remember him talking to me like I had done something wrong. He said, "You can't do that to the rich people. You're going to get beat up," is basically what he said. He said, "You've been beat up before. It's going to be just like that. You'll be okay." But I can remember him saying, "You can't fight back or they'll kill us both."
Mm-hmm. And that's when you were taken to the farm, and then 6 or 8, maybe 10 different groups assaulted and tortured you.
This is like, Yeah, it was at least 3 or 4 or 5 people at a time in these groups, because I think by that point I had done what I did to Trump. They knew that I was kind of in a homicidal type of rage, so they made sure to have enough people that they felt safe, because also my dad could fight too, and he was there.
Mm-hmm.
So they had in each of these little groups, they had enough that they felt that I'm sure that they could overpower both me and my dad, because my dad's no slouch either. I could fight like a little Wolverine even as a child because of how I came up. Well, he was a bare knuckle boxer and a tough man type of dude, so he could fight too. But it was like they took us from station to station, you know, to I don't know, just to increase the horror of it, I guess. I really
Premeditated. Seems like premeditated.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Like,
well,
what I know of
like-
Trump is
like
that
some-
Trump would attempt to premeditatedly stage such a scene to terrorize you retaliatorily.
Yes.
So
he wasn't there at that. I would
Yeah.
assume that it was a close enough time frame that he was still recovering.
yeah.
But I can remember that even my dad having the conversation with the people, because of the level that they had kind of taken it to get me to that homicidal rage. I remember my dad arguing that it was unreasonable. He said, you know, this is just what happens when you push somebody far enough, you know?
So then they
Type of an argument.
So then they took you to different locations, several groups at a time, tortured and assaulted you sexually. And then at one point you said they hosed you off with a garden hose. And what did they say again to your dad? That you were dirty and to hose you off?
Oh, they just said that they said he's disgusting. Just take a garden hose to him or something. And somebody went inside the house and got a bar of soap. And I remember they threw it at me and hit me in the head, and that they all thought that was funny. And I was struggling because I had to get the soap from the ground. And I can remember being hit to the point where I was just having trouble grasping the soap. Not just from a standpoint of like being able to see it, but like from the coordination aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'd been hit in the head and body and everything so much that I even had difficulty in getting the soap. So they made me like take a shower while they stood there with the garden hose just hosing me off. And I can remember getting really cold from that. But then it wasn't over. That would have been about the halfway point.
And you said
And
it was
then-
sexual assault followed by beatings in all of those cases.
Yes, some people didn't even want to sexually assault me. Some people just wanted to beat the hell out of me. So not all of them, they got to do whatever they wanted, but with all of the different people, it included some sort of physical assault, physical and sexual assault, or just the physical. There weren't any instances of just sexual assault. It was around causing damage to me, and towards the end of it, I can remember my dad saying he can't take anymore, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And you know, at that point, he had like drugged me because I couldn't walk or anything to one of the groups, and they said if he can't take any more, it's not over with. You're gonna have to take the rest of it. And he said, fine, because I'm gonna go to jail anyway to kill him. So they beat the absolute hell out of him too.
Okay.
I can remember my dad kind of carried me away from the last like group of people, and I think he had to change clothes or something for me, and it took a while, like 30 minutes or something, but I finally got through enough I could breathe and everything, to where I walked out of there with help.
And then is that when they took you to Andy Biggs? Or Andy Biggs tortured
Not
and raped you?
immediately thereafter. not immediately thereafter, but another week or two passed, or maybe a month, week, two, whatever. I was healed as far as my most of my bruises and stuff like that from the first farm incident by the time I went to Andy Biggs. And of the physical assaults, it's the worst. He kept beating me until my ribs were broken. I was turning blue, convulsing. If you get beaten enough, as you try to breathe, you just kind of click. I can't describe it any other way than that. It's not even a wheezing or anything, but your like diaphragm or something locks up and you just start clicking. Some people call that like the death rattle.
Yeah.
But that's the point to which he beat me, to where when I would try to breathe, my chest would just make this clicking noise. I don't know how to describe it any
you
other
described
way,
that extremely clearly. Like I say, I appreciate your forthrightness. Now, you and I had spoken, and you said that your dad told you that after the incident.
That sounds like getting hit in the solar plexus a bunch of times, man. You know, that sounds just like that. You know, where you just can't breathe.
With Andy Biggs, that your dad said that Trump and Trump's associates said that whatever debt they thought you owed because you fought back against Trump, that the debt was paid, and the debt was you getting raped and beaten brutally by all those individuals, including Andy Biggs.
Yes.
And then you said that you don't recall attending any more parties after that, and you weren't sure if it was because they thought you aged out because you were 12 or 13, or whether they just thought you were too much of a hassle, like they could get caught.
I think all of that came into play, yes.
Or they might wanted to behave vindictive towards your dad about whatever money your dad was earning. Do you think that?
I couldn't speak to any of that part of it. I'm not even sure like the financial arrangements or anything like that. I can remember that when they sent me to the brothel, that they were upset that they didn't make more money. And then I can remember Lynn being absolutely furious because they were going to get this big payday from doing the child porn in Tennessee, but they wound up losing money on the deal because they got stiffed by whoever bought the film when it was done, and they had to spend, I think, some money on a lawyer. So it was a net loss for them.
Well, Luke, after he was asked that, and I agree, it did sound like she was trying to coach. He speaks up and says, "I don't know. I don't have any idea what kind of financials or anything else that was." Okay. But what he does recollect is what he's talking about now.
It was something to do with like the film wasn't as long as what they agreed to pay money for, so they didn't make as much, and you know. So,
but the films.
I just remember them being upset.
Okay. And the filming, most of the filming, the parties was all associated with Trump and the Trump Epstein Ghislaine pedophile ring. Different layers of parties.
Yeah, but it's a whole bunch of people. It's just that from my childhood perspective, what I saw or what I thought that I saw was he was the big boss. Donald Trump was the big boss, and then Epstein was like you said, like the manager or something. And then you had lower level people like my dad that kind of went out and found girls or coordinated, at the ground level of things.
Yeah. So in terms of
even Epstein himself, he just sought out people like my dad that would sell, their adopted child, their actual child, or whatever. So those are the different layers of people.
Yeah. But that Trump was involved in a lot of the planning, micromanaging, filming.
Certainly the payouts.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I was offered to Trump, the excitement that was in the house from Lynn particularly was that this is going to be the big payday. You know, we have made it up to the highest level of this thing, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would sell me at a lower level to people that they knew. You know, not this is outside of the parties, but obviously they don't have the type of money that these rich folks have. So that wasn't really a big payday, and they were nervous about taking that kind of money because they were accepting this large amount of risk for really little amount of reward. And they were excited to make it to the level of Donald Trump because I think the payday that they were supposed to get was $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been another sum, but that's just the sum that I remember. And that may not sound like a lot, especially today, but for our standard of living, that would have been a fairly sizable chunk of money.
Mm-hmm. And we spoke about in terms of the years when you were about 9 to 10 years old, maybe 8 years old, until about 13. And most of the parties, there were only 3 or 4 kids there. Sometimes only you.
Yes.
And it was
They would
sort of the
almost
different.
always have.
Yeah.
And they would almost always have at least one girl there. So I'm sure that the mentality of that would be, you know, to have a boy or a girl to choose from. And there may have been children at these parties that were in attendance that I just didn't see.
Yeah.
Because I was being abused, you know, in like a bedroom of the farmhouse or some other location. And there could have been more people there. I can't really say exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
You get kind of just from a standpoint of the experience, you very much just kind of lock onto your surroundings to try to stay alive. You know, you're looking at the person that you're having this encounter with, anything that you could potentially use for a weapon, escape paths and stuff like that. Very much you're in survival mode. So you tend to hyper focus on just what's immediately around you. So there may have been additional things going on, but I really wasn't paying attention to those.
Okay, and we spoke about the average age was like 9 or 10 years old in some cases. Layers of parties.
Adult prostitutes were there too.
Yeah.
So the younger end is 9, 10, all the way up to
You're getting some weird feedback from the True
17,
Few.
18, 19, 20-year-olds, you know.
Hold on, who am I getting feedback from?
The True Few. You're getting like muffled.
I'm muted, dude.
You can see it coming through. But.
Yeah, I see it down there. Something's echoing.
And did you ever see Andy Biggs sexually assault and torture anyone else? Or you? No.
Not that I can recall. No.
And what about Jim Jordan?
No. I remember him from that one instance. I'm not saying that he wasn't at additional, but I only remember him at the one. And I can remember a bunch of people being there, but to be honest with you, the rest of them just kind of melded together. You know, just a bunch of adults. You know, kind of a crowd of people. The ones that I focused on, the ones that I remember, are the ones that seared into my brain that this person could kill me next time.
Yeah.
So I need to remember this type of deal, and that's those 3.
Yeah. And then Trump during all those years. Now, did you ever see Clarence Thomas more than once, or Lindsey Graham?
I could have, but I only remembered Lindsey because his mannerisms, particularly when he's not in the public spotlight, are very effeminate.
Yeah.
So that stood out to me, and Clarence stood out to me, and I only remember seeing them at one of those parties before anything happened. So I'm not saying that they were necessarily involved in abuse. They could have been. They could have even been involved in abuse that included me. I just can't swear to that. But he stood out because of his mannerisms being so effeminate. I believe the people that I was around, my dad and whoever he was talking to at the time, joking and laughing about those mannerisms. And then I remember Clarence because he's a black man. Not only is he a black man, but he's kind of a dark-skinned black man. So in that group of people, he stood out a lot because he was the only black guy there.
Okay. And then in terms of, we talked about transportation, plane, airplane, helicopter, automobile. You said there was usually there weren't a lot of folks on the plane, maybe sometimes 3 or 4 other kids, sometimes just you, whichever adults on the plane. When, with the snuff movies, were any of those shot on the farm that you remember? Or those were, you said, were at different locations?
Those were at different locations.
And how many folks did you see killed in the snuff movies that you saw filmed?
That was filmed?
Yeah.
For sure, 100%. I only remember that one.
Yeah.
Now, if they filmed Patricia being shot, that would be 2.
Okay.
But the other one was on like what you would think of as a movie set.
Yeah.
Probably just a warehouse, somebody's basement. I couldn't tell you the location, but it wasn't just a handheld, VHS camcorder. It was something on a tripod with lights and things like that. And we were having sex, and somebody walked in and just shot her in the head, and I don't remember her name.
So it's a similar MO as with Patricia.
Yes, but there was no additional assault to me afterwards. But yes, it was similar to what happened there. Other than with Patricia, they busted in. It was however many of them there was, about half a dozen. And I had to stand there and watch, kind of like I had to with the puppies, while they abused her first and then shot her.
Did Patricia say anything to you before Patricia was shot? Do you remember anything? Did Patricia say anything all during the assault?
I can remember her asking to just die. Please just kill me. And I can remember telling Patricia, because this is what Samantha had said to Sarah before Samantha shot her, was, "You're going to come be with me now. I love you." And then she shot her. So I said the same thing to Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shot her.
There really aren't any English language words that convey,
I mean, can you imagine that there's people that want to watch movies of that?
No, not at all. But apparently there's a market out there for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's whoa. Apparently lucrative enough that the reward far outweighs the risk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in their minds.
Well, that's kind of like, what was it last night? I was telling you about that show, The Moment of Truth, how weird it was. The reaction as the audience for them to reward and clap the person that was getting money, even though they were talking about this kind of very subject in a way, CP, polygamy, stuff like that. The natural reaction of the crowd was to clap because they won. And it's like, that's, to me, that's crazy. But apparently there's a sect of people out there who enjoy this type of thing.
God.
It's just busted, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine?
No.
Wow.
I mean, while they're watching these videos as well, they're not just watching them, with no intent of doing anything. They've probably got no clothes on while they're watching it, you know what I mean? Knocking one out.
God, I know. Wow. Just blows me away that this is even a thing.
I feel disgusted talking about it.
Well, the thing is that this is what these people, what the fuck? These people that are in charge of banks and municipalities and
pretty much the things that run the world.
Yes, man.
Unfortunately.
And they're all in this shit. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but that Dutch banker, that he'd made it to a level in banking where he was invited to one of these things where he was going to have to take place in child sacrifice. And he said, no, he can't do it. He had to draw the line at that. And he did an interview where he said that. He broke down in tears. And about 2 weeks later, they found him dead in a river.
It's wild. Makes you wonder what he was willing to do before that, but even still, good for him for not doing that, I guess.
Well, the Red Shoe Club.
Yeah.
They have these shoes. They're supposedly made of the skin of children.
Yeah.
They're red.
Yeah.
And
they like to show them off.
Somebody said something about that was some producer hinted that his shoes, he was wearing those red shoes, that it was that little girl from Poltergeist.
Like the real one or just the actress?
The actress. Yeah, she died, right?
Yeah. So her in real life, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I forget what her name is. Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Heather O'Rourke. Yeah, man.
I bet she ended up as a pair of shoes. That little kid who used to do the pageants, the little blonde kid.
Allegedly, yeah.
John Benet Ramsey.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Katy Perry.
Very possible, but that's what that is. And here's the thing that gets me too. Another one who's been alligated in a lot of this, going all the way back to 2019 and shit, is Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look back early in Tom Hanks's film career, he made a movie called The Man with One Red Shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that a hint? Is he like halfway there? Was he halfway to the big boy club? Or
a lot of his movies were big. So many of his movies have interesting connotations. What was The Burbs? Was that the name of it?
The Burbs, yeah.
Just a lot of his movies, if you look back on, or even the symbolism in The Castaway on the Wilson. The Wilson ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now that we know about the other, yeah.
Yeah.
See, crazy shit everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. The Witch and the Oz wore red shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all symbolism, and if you recognize these symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Symbols for psychos.
I'm glad that you found each other, that you found some way that you could find some sort of friendship in such harrowing circumstances. I'm so sad, but I don't.
She was just a sweet little girl, and that's what these people are. And this world is just not need that.
Yeah. Do you have a sense that Trump and those perpetrators would specifically try to look for children they thought were really innocent to torture? The puppies?
Oh, yeah.
Like the more innocent, they wanted to torture them more?
Yes. It was about the experience to them didn't seem to be all that sexual in nature. It was about taking a bright little energetic youth and then just destroying that person, even if not physically necessarily, but psychologically and emotionally. Like to the point where they just really were like traumatized for life.
Mm-hmm.
That was what they seemed to enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And my mother, Mary Lynn Riley, was of the exact same personality flaws that those rich people were. And as bad as my dad is, and as far as human beings go, I would say that he's just about a failure in every way. He wasn't even that bad. There was just some semblance of conscience with him. Like, I can remember at that party him just about breaking down into tears because it was affecting him emotionally to see me take that level of punishment or abuse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Lynn was a type of person, she would have smiled and laughed and had a really good time. That's who she was. And that's who Donald Trump is. And that's who Andy Dick is. Those three are like the last level of human as far as depravity goes. I mean, there's nothing in the way of watching another person suffer that they didn't seem to enjoy, would be the best way to put it.
So it would be similar sort of psychopathy as John Wayne Gacy. Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. If
even worse.
I can remember Samantha was the first and maybe only person that Lynn got to kill, and I remember her being upset that she didn't get to be the one to kill her. And that's the last part of what they used as leverage against me. And they had damaged her to the point where she was probably going to die anyway. But Samantha asked me, they threw her in the room, they had cut off one of her toes. She was not in a good way. I think that maybe they had broken her arm. But she was suffering, and she asked me to choke her to death. And I did. And they used that, my parents used that as leverage against me for a period of time, telling me that I was the only one guilty of murder. So in my childhood brain, I thought that made sense, but I just did for Sammy what Sammy kind of did for Sarah.
That's how you were looking at. Okay, so let's just recap because that's important. I don't want that to get misconstrued. So Samantha, Sarah, Patricia. Which one was African American again? Samantha. So Samantha was African American, and you were all tortured and trafficked by Trump and the Trump Epstein pedophile ring.
Yeah.
Brutally tortured. When Sarah was going to commit suicide, Sarah was afraid to pull the trigger, and Samantha pulled the trigger, and so that Samantha could die because Samantha was afraid to commit suicide. Sarah asked Samantha to pull the trigger. And then when your parents,
I was in the room.
Yeah.
Sarah had asked for me to be in the room too because she wanted. We cared about each other. Me, Sarah, Samantha, and Patricia were all just like, we kind of, Three Musketeers or whatever. We kind of stuck with each other because we did the best we could to look out for one another. But she wanted me to be in the room too because she wanted to die around the people that she loved. And at that point, it was just me and Samantha. I don't.
And was that at the brothel again, or what was the location?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That was at the brothel.
Okay, and so that's when Sarah died, and then they had to clean up.
Yeah, the adults came in and took Sarah's body, but I remember Samantha and I had to use the cleanest solutions and clean up all the blood and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And then when Marie Lynn and William Kyle tortured Samantha almost to death, Samantha was going to die, and then Samantha asked you to kill Samantha, similar that Sarah asked Samantha to kill Sarah?
She showed me how to choke her, and I did.
What else did she say?
Samantha?
Yeah.
She just made me.
She said to save her?
She made me promise to live life for both of them. She made me promise that I would get through it.
What do you think Marie Lynn and William would have done to Samantha if Samantha hadn't have died?
He says he types in Luke, the dude was literally just choking up about this experience just now.
Just would have kept beating on her until she was dead.
So
They tortured her for a couple of weeks, probably.
A couple of weeks. So they tortured Samantha during a couple of weeks. And then Samantha asked you to kill Samantha because Samantha didn't want to die getting tortured by William Kyle and Marie Lynn.
She said, I can't go back in there.
Yeah.
I can't do it again.
Yeah.
Because they had us locked in like a little storage room,
Yeah.
and they would pull us out one at a time and torture us, and then throw us back in there together. And that last day, they threw her back in there at night, and I can remember we stayed up almost all night talking. I can remember when daybreak hit, she said, you've got to do it. I can't. Basically, she could not face them again, and she knew that shortly after sunrise, my parents would be up.
Yeah.
So, and when I filed the police report, I told them that same thing. So, that the police report that was never followed up.
So when
I did that in Lawton, Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma. And so when you talked to the police, you said Samantha had asked you to kill Samantha because Samantha couldn't bear getting tortured by your parents anymore. And you told the police, and the police never followed up in Oklahoma.
I filled out a whole report. It was recorded.
The only problem is, though, with this Erica Kirk pretending to cry, her receipts that she doesn't have don't add up. If you start digging into this and looking at what's been uncovered about it, you find out that it does line up, and there are receipts, including locations of where this guy was at, where certain people and what they were doing at those periods of time. All of it, man, including all the records of his dad's prior arrests, police investigations into him, into his dad trying to kill him. I mean, there's all this shit is there, man. All this shit is there. Now, if I was somebody of prominence, like the president of the United States or a congressman or what have you, and there was somebody out there and this shit was getting around like it is, like this is, making these allegations against you, why, if they were untrue, surely you would take legal action, right? Right? You would at least respond to it publicly, wouldn't you? No?
I would if somebody was accusing me of something crazy like that. Hell yeah. If I knew I didn't do anything.
You'd want your name cleared as soon as possible.
Well, especially if you're a politician, for crying out loud, right?
Yeah, especially if you're in the public eye constantly.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying this is what, because I would just say, yeah, this sounds crazy as shit, you know? But you also have to understand this is coming from somebody who has actually, you know, grew up and lived this type of trauma was in his formative upbringing. Okay. That way that you would react to this as opposed to somebody who was brought up as that being the normal shit. I mean, imagine you're going to get your ass beat for kicking a tent peg up Donald Trump's ass, right? You're going to face the music for that. And your dad that's taking you to do that says you're used to that. You get beat up all the time.
This is the harm, I've mentioned it multiple times now, but this is the harm of like the Me Too movement and stuff like that. When it's like, believe every woman's story and stuff like they dilute it so that when somebody does tell something real, people have a hard time believing that person's testimony is real. And I think that's the desired outcome of it, and there's other ways too that they do in court, when some people have doubts about people's stories or whatever, they'd be like, well, he got a DUI back in 2004. It's like, does that mean that he's telling a lie about this? It's stuff like that.
Right.
They love to dilute people's testimonies and stuff like that. And whether you believe it or not, isn't really the situation. We know that these type of things happen, and these people have a track record of this type of thing. So I don't know. I guess it's up to everybody.
I look at it too, and kind of like some of the other stuff. I like to hear some of the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
And from people that know the dude. And it's like, one of the things I've seen, it's a common theme, and this is from a couple of different people that have been in the administration, is that he likes to pit different people within his organization against each other. And you could see him do that on The Apprentice too. He likes to see them fight back and forth and try to crush each other. Yeah. He gets that kind of enjoyment and that kind of a psychology, that kind of a mentality, and the stuff that this guy talks about, it seems like it's like right up his alley,
Yeah.
Now I throw that in also the Lake Michigan story. I'm looking at these various
track record.
Yeah. I mean, this ain't the only person. Okay. In fact, I was astonished that it was a guy. Okay. So this is telling me what? That he likes the little boys. I don't know. Maybe he likes them both. I think he likes just traumatizing kids, man.
Could be.
Back on
I don't really. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, back on your point, like it's like the little boy that cried wolf, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Me Too became that same scenario, just on a grand scale.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's the thing. I think they throw those things out there to do such a thing, to discredit people that come along with a real story, so it makes it harder, so that the public has a real hard time believing anybody at all, whether they do or not. And I don't know what to believe one way or another on this. I find it interesting, but at the same time, I mean, I can't discredit it completely.
Right. I mean, I think the guy, I believe that he was trafficked and everything. And I don't have any reason to not believe that Donald Trump was involved in this shit. We already know.
And his story flows. His story flows. He's not, sorry, Dave, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, he's, let's look at who the dude was hanging out with, right? Who's actively screaming at people, I'm not releasing the files, I don't care, fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Right? Start a war, do whatever, but I'm not releasing those fucking files. Now, why would he fight against that so badly? Did he not know that he was so prevalent in them? I mean,
and even if you weren't a part of that kind of thing, why would you hide it up? Even if it was your friend, like even if somebody's my friend and I know that does that kind of thing, I'm not gonna cover it up for him. That's for sure.
He ain't my friend no more.
Yeah,
he ain't my friend no more. But so these are the little things, because I look at it and I go, okay, so what do we know? Okay, this sounds pretty crazy. It's people digging up some receipts. We're seeing more and more to substantiate. And, like I said, the guy hung out with Jeff Epstein all those years. And from what this guy says, his perception was that Trump was actually the guy in charge. Epstein was like kind of below him in this whole thing. But I don't know, man. Then you've got all the Mossad bullshit too.
Yeah.
Mossad connections, and it's really quite a convoluted shit thing. But I do believe that this guy had these experiences, and I don't see how it would be of any gain to him.
Yeah, I think
You know?
in all fairness, like I say it a lot too, is that I don't believe in like guilt by association, but at the same time, like you gotta know when to disassociate yourself from these people, these type of people
Right.
too. And you know, because somebody who's prominent like Trump, you're probably gonna come across all kinds of people not knowing. But as soon as you find out, like he should be trying to release these files if he totally had nothing to do with them. And like I said, even if it was just his friend that did it, you're still trying to cover up a crime for your friend. So, you know, if that's the case, I don't believe that's the case, but I think he's part of it, if not the ringleader. But yeah.
Right.
So
I don't know. It's
yeah, it's wild.
And how many? Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. I thought I
It's
had
not
this
like you're backing someone up for being in a burglary.
Yeah.
Let me see. Thought I saved that. There's a list of you know, how many payouts Trump's made to these different families, these of kids, because of allegations of diddling them. And it's like a million, a couple million there, another million there, and it's like, you know, just to shut them up.
Seems like all these people have settlements. Will Duffy, all of them, anybody who's prominent always has a settlement for some reason or another.
Well, and to me, that settlement, Donald Trump paying those people that settlement, that ain't no different than him having bought their kid.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. You just,
for the most part,
you weren't satisfied with the price. You weren't upset so much that your kid got raped than you are about the price of it. See, it's yeah. Of course, you might have made him an offer that he couldn't refuse too, like take the money and shut the fuck up, or don't take the money and die.
Maybe.
I gave them the exact same story I'm telling you, and I never heard back from them. And I don't know why. I don't know how deep they dug. I don't know why that investigation stalled, but at the conclusion of that, I felt as though law enforcement was not somebody that would do anything. Because I know that the investigations have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
My parents were investigated over and over and over again, particularly my dad, in 3 different states.
Seems like there was some
different states. Four different states. Because Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, and they tried to kill me in Florida. There was another investigation in Florida that followed them back to Alabama.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I have a question for you.
there's no way. Yes.
This is specific regarding with Trump again, and I think it might help in terms of sort of just establishing something. When you kicked the tent peg into Trump's anus, you said it tore Trump's backside open, anus open.
Yes.
There's a lot of gossip, discussion about Donald Trump's being incontinent since several years ago. I remember some folks that worked on the television series The Apprentice, they said Donald Trump had to wear diapers. And that
I would bet it's because I ripped him open.
That's what my sense is that some of the gossip has been, oh, Trump had used Adderall, Trump was incontinent because of drug use. But I'm wondering, and I do know that the truth, if that's actually the reason Trump wears diapers is a significant part. Do you remember? I mean, can you describe what the injuries look like? Do you remember enough to describe?
I remember the scream that he let out when I kicked him. And I remember backing away, and it was, I can't remember exactly what it looked like, but it wasn't just that he was hurt. He started, while he was screaming, like his entire body was in a almost like a horseshoe, where he was just vibrating or convulsing while he was just screaming at the. I remember his reaction being so loud that it scared me, and I kind of backed away. But what the injury itself looked like, I can't really describe that, because in my mind, I thought that he was going to die after.
Mm-hmm.
So I like got as far away as I could, like in the corner. And as he's just the scream that he let out, I can remember that. Yeah, just like a banshee. And then those people came in there, obviously knowing something was up. They pointed a gun at me. Anyway, they didn't beat me. They didn't do anything like that. They just scooped him up, got him out of there, and then they tried to figure out what had happened. And I know at one point I was just there with like a couple of guys holding a gun on me, and there was some discussion. My dad was brought in, and they just let us go for that day. Nobody harmed us that day, because they didn't really know how they were going to handle it. They didn't know if Trump was going to die. He was fucked up. I mean, no doubt. That's something that left a scar. There is no doubt in my mind that left a permanent scar on him. So, and as far as if it's possible that that's the reason that he's incontinent today, it's very, very much so. It wasn't it wasn't a minor injury by any stretch of the imagination. It was my best effort to kill him in the most horrible way that I could possibly do it. I just happened to fail.
Well, you were 12, and you'd just seen Patricia tortured and raped and murdered. Trump premeditated the murder of Patricia to torture you, and then Trump tortured you. It's extreme circumstances. You experienced understandable rage at injustice, the most depraved sort of injustice.
And as much as I am able to corroborate, I wish somebody would just offer my dad a deal, because he knows all of it. It would be worth him not going to jail, as far as I'm concerned, just to blow this whole thing open, because as bad as my dad is, any malice that I might have towards him is superseded by the fact that the whole of the organization is even worse.
Yeah.
But that's just me talking to you. I mean, I understand you're not in that position. I'm not in that position, but that's just, I wonder how many other people are out there that are just like my dad. My dad was kind of like a recruiter, maybe. I think he would go out and find runaways, but I can't say where those people got all of the other people. I know that I don't know where Sarah came from. I know Samantha came from an abusive household, and she ran away when she was 12 or 13. Lived on the streets for a while, and then wound up in that brothel, and then wound up getting used in that whole ring. And Patricia had been in some similar circumstance where I think that she was adopted and used kind of like I was, but then she wound up on the street too, another runaway. But I don't know Sarah's background. I don't remember it.
I think your dad
Now, see, that would be that's wild. He said if they'd offer his dad a deal, that he could corroborate the shit that he's saying too. But who would be the ones to offer the deal? Would be the Department of Justice, and we already know the Department of Justice protects these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a bit against their efforts to do such a thing, wouldn't it?
It makes me wonder that is there any other medical evidence that collaborates this guy's testimony?
Well, that's the thing too. When he first became president, well, the first orders of business that took place was he had guys go to his. I'm getting an echo off somebody. Who is that? Who am I getting? I must have been Cubby. They went to his gastroenterologist and confiscated all records on Donald Trump.
Right.
So they went to his butt doctor and got his fucking butt records.
So they wiped his ass. I mean, wiped his butt records. Sorry.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. That's true. That actually happened. That actually happened. We have the story from people that worked on the TV show The Apprentice, talking about how he shit his pants once in a fit of rage and over a word he couldn't pronounce.
Well, he's being set up by central casting, I guess. Yes.
Oh my God, this guy. His daughter had to come and tell him to go fucking change it shit because he'd shit himself and he didn't know it. You imagine that? I mean, a tent peg wrecked your ass so bad that you can't even feel a dookie drop out of it.
Gonna need another pad over here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Had an oopsie.
I'm like, maybe Melania's got to throw him up on the table and on the changing table there and say, "Oh my, what a big mess
here, baby." Yeah.
God.
You remember those pet pads they used to sell? He had probably on his bed.
Can we please have somebody who's not a geriatric fucking baby raping weirdo? At least, yeah. I mean, is that all there is?
Well, maybe you'll get AI here shortly.
Yeah, maybe we'll get one of those. An AI president makes decisions based on facts that gets off the internet.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we need.
Will you wipe my hard drive? Oh,
yeah, right. For the betterment. God, no, we don't need that. We just need people to quit being fucking retarded.
Be nice.
That's so hard to do. You know, they say, "Oh, well, who do we vote for?" Don't vote for any fucking buddy. It seems like voting is what encourages these weirdos, man. I mean, there's a reason DC is like the way it is. Okay, come on, man.
Was probably one of similar sort of recruiters they might have used in different locations, or in terms of the core group of like those specific torture parties, they might have tried to keep it quite tight rein on things.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about right now? I mean, I think
I have shared the bulk of what I remember vividly.
Okay.
You know, sometimes another detail or something will pop up into my head. But, you know, and I've spent years kind of trying to dissect all of this and you know, over the number of years, about the last 10 years, I've been just peeling back layer after layer of this. And as far as what I remember clearly, this is pretty much it. You know, like I say, there were other instances of assaults, but I can't tell you who did what, when, or where. And I can't place it to a specific individual outside of, you know, my both of my parents assaulted me. Some of the other family members assaulted me. I can remember that. But as far as anybody of any importance, those 5 names that I've given are the only ones. The 2 that were there, and then the three, Andy, Jim, and Donald Trump. But there were other people at those parties, and those people were important. I just can't point a finger at them and say for sure.
Yeah, no,
this is that person.
Don't worry about that at all right now. There's what I'm going to do is,
to be honest with you, seeing Clarence Thomas there really stood out. But what cements that into my brain was the celebration that my dad had when he got confirmed onto the Supreme Court. How excited he was to have a person as high as the Supreme Court that was involved in all of it as sort of a buffer.
Yeah.
So, could potentially John Roberts or Justice Alito, one of those guys, been there? Potentially. I don't know, but I can remember specifically how excited he was that, this is a person in about the highest position possible. And I remember him saying that that's a lifetime appointment. So,
do you remember,
for what that's worth?
No, that's important. That's significant. Do you remember any female attendees at those parties, adult females?
Yes, but it was not very common. Lynn went to one at least, and they were rare.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the women that were at these parties were escorts or children.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some adult escorts at some of the parties for sure. And then there were possibly, before it got down to the smaller group of people at the end where they really did the more brutal, more heinous stuff, that was always just a bunch of men. I can't remember women being in a smaller circle other than other people being trafficked. I can't remember any women being there.
Dude, and that's what I'm saying, man. Most of these guys are like sausage fest party goers. You know what I mean? And you've heard Trump talk about big, beautiful, strong men and all this other shit, man. This guy's, you should show up on Pride Days. What he ought to do.
Besides Trump, could you identify any of the rest of the men, of those 8 to 10 men that were always in the tour, in the core torture group? If you saw the photos,
he would be the only one that I could clearly say that this person. The rest of them, I didn't think they were going to kill me.
Yeah.
So they just kind of go into the memory bank of just something else bad, and the only ones that I remember are the ones that I thought were dangerous, and then Clarence because he's black, and then Lindsay just because of his mannerisms. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing him and observing his mannerisms. What I remember even more is my dad and whoever he was with at the time kind of joking about those mannerisms. I can even remember somebody telling my dad to be careful because there were a lot of people at that party that were gay. So if he got caught like making fun of a rich person that was gay or at least had the mannerisms and demeanor of a gay person, that it might cause my dad problems. So it was kind of, we can kind of laugh and joke about this a little bit here, but you better be careful what you say around other people because a lot of these people are gay or at least have bisexual tendencies, and they may take offense to that. And these are people that my dad was not in a position to offend.
Mm-hmm.
They.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this recording here, this second recording, and backups and so on. And then I'm just going to spend the rest of Saturday fairly quiet doing some peaceful things, which I highly suggest you do as well. Just whatever you like to do that you experience
I'm
some
gonna go
joy
do some
about.
yard work.
There you go.
If it's not too hot outside, it was pretty hot yesterday, but that's kind of what that's my meditation, that or the gym, and I can't go to the gym today.
Yeah, spend some time
I have a
outdoors.
set schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do, like I said already, I'd like to just get the text messages we've got and the recordings, and I'm just going to figure out in terms of, there's 2 recordings now, and I'm just going to figure out whether I might just upload to a specific drive, and then I've got to look at just in terms of the logistics with the recordings. Like I said, I'd like to just post them raw with a brief summary, and a totally different context. But a long time ago, I was speaking to some folks who are at NASA about climate crisis related, and one of the women that I know at NASA was talking about all the data they were seeing, and there was so much politicization of the data that Lynn was concerned that it was going to be
Ring, because the rich people that are involved, and these people have this
Sorry, I had to move it up to the
in
story.
their soul or personality or whatever you want to say, and they're denying the climate crisis for the sake of money, and they're denying the pedophile ring because the rich people that are involved in it want it to continue.
Yeah.
It's just a level of corruption that seems to permeate, I don't know, in almost every direction. It's not everybody who is corrupt, or most certainly the average person, I would think, would be very much against all of this, but not enough people in key positions to prevent it from happening. And that's, and to be honest with you, to some degree,
The people in key positions are there to facilitate it happening. This is what people got to understand. And that's obvious. And that's obvious right now with this whole fucking release of these files and him trying to block them and Pam Bondi trying to block it. These people, they want to keep this fucking shit going. They don't want to do anything about it. If you're going, that's what cracks me up. They said, we're going after child predators and child rapists. Well, then what the fuck are you doing all the way over in Minneapolis for? They're right there. They're all around you. See them guys with the big bags of cash in there and they're ready to give you to vote a certain way? There's one. Guarantee it. Let's just profile them like that. You're a rich guy. Let's check you out. Are you a fucking predator? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. It cracks me up. They say one thing and do another, and then just gaslight you the whole way, going, "Oh, this is what we're doing." It's like, that's not what I'm seeing, man. You think that just your position's going to change reality, what you say versus what I see? Is that what they're really counting on? God.
it feels like the Democrats are just part of theater. Joe Biden had 4 years to kind of do some things, and it seemed like as far as policy went, it seemed like some things were going in the right direction. But where was the urgency with the guy that tried to incite a coup?
Well,
It almost feels like they're just playing almost all feels performative.
No, I understand. I think
this
Joe
side and that side.
Yeah. I think Joe Biden was trying to do the right thing. And there's obviously a lot of folks, Republicans, that are involved in the pedophile ring and have compromise against them, and perhaps some Democrats. And I think it's one of those situations where, Biden had more information, there's a lot more Biden would have done. So there's obviously been some collusion about the information that everyone's getting. And I think what you were speaking, what you're talking about in terms of parties and how the parties seem to be presented, folks that were engaged in some level of criminal behavior, but wasn't the extreme criminal behavior of those that were torturing and murdering kids. And so they were all trying to play it all off against them all. So all these different folks had compromise, say, on drug use or some sex acts they didn't want publicized, but they didn't know about the torture ring. So a lot of collusion, but there are decent folks, and there are decent folks that are trying to do the right thing. And I'll get these audio files, I'll get them looked at, I'll get them uploaded, I'll write a little summary. I'm sort of simmering about, just some of the logistics in terms of the file size, the right location, where I'm comfortable with the files being. And I'm, like I say, I've already looked in terms of some contacts at the Hague. One of the things with the Hague is the United States isn't part of the international, the criminal court system anymore. But I know how can still be presented because it is international security issue, considering Trump's wreaking this sort of havoc. Now, Trump's attempting to wreak havoc on all sorts of folks in all sorts of countries regarding tariffs and all sorts of nonsense. And is it the exact MO you described with the puppies and with Patricia? So
he does seem to enjoy watching the act of suffering play out.
Yeah.
In almost any venue that he has any part of.
Yeah. And now with immigrations and detentions, disappearances in the United States, again, it's similar.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just if Trump does one thing that's good for this country, it will be by being such a putrid human being, he will maybe expose much of the corruption around him. And that is my only hope for him. Other than that, he serves no positive purpose to mankind.
Yeah.
But if his level of malfeasance somehow segues into the exposing of the misdeeds of some really bad people around him, that'll be the only good thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, but
yeah,
I have watched this presidency closer than any other because of my past, and good God, everything he touches turns to shit.
Yeah.
And it seems to be that he turns it to shit in the most callous and horrible way possible for as many people as he can make it that way.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me that so many people are on board with the suffering of others, and it seems to be the almost the selling point.
Yeah.
I can remember discussing with somebody the other day, I don't care if somebody's here legally or illegally. At the end of the day, that's still a human being that we're talking about. Now, if this person has gone and murdered people or done something like that, well, then they should answer for it. But every person deserves due process. Every person. And that's the way the Constitution is written. That was the one thing that all 9 Supreme Court justices even agreed on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everybody should get due process.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he is denying people that and trying to convince the masses that certain people do not deserve due process is just alarming to a degree that it actually is shocking to me that it isn't a line in the sand for everybody. I don't understand the reasoning behind some people thinking that because your skin's brown, you don't deserve due process, or because you cross the border here, which is essentially a civil matter, a speeding ticket type of violation, you know, that somehow now that person deserves to suffer to death.
On such a subject, something that I'm simmering with in terms of timing of publishing the files, you know, there's, on one hand, I want to publish sooner than later, but one of my siblings is traveling to the United States this week, and I told her not to travel. I said it was quite urgent not to travel, and she just hasn't read a lot of information. Yeah, I know. And so what I'm thinking, what I'm looking at in terms of logistics, especially since we've...
So I think that's about the end on that recording where they're talking about any of the other. There's a couple of other 20-minute clips. He goes over in more detail some of the events that took place. If you missed the first one, go back and watch that. I put the link down in the chat for anybody that wants to go and check out those interviews. Who am I getting that echo?
Probably me. Stupid thing.
Is it? Let me see.
So we've had a request of the biscuit song to lighten the mood.
What's that?
Want some honey sauce is what he's saying.
We need the chicken song, man. We need this.
Yeah, we've had a request for the biscuit song.
Can't get enough of that.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Ooh, wow. That brings a smile on the face. Yeah.
There it is.
It's got a ring to a certain song by Eric Clapton, and I can't think of the name of it.
Called Taste the Biscuit, man.
Cream.
White
Eric
Room.
Clapton wish he would have wrote Taste the Biscuit.
White Room. Yeah, it's almost exactly like White Room.
In the white room.
With my curtains.
Exactly. It's exactly.
I got a question for you. When did that event actually take place? What year was that? Did anybody know?
What event is that?
The tent. No.
It was in the 80s. It was in the 80s. I forget what year they say. Yeah, and
Trump's close to my age then, what I'm thinking. Right?
He's 79.
Oh, he's older. Yeah. He don't look 79. He looks like a young.
Oh, he's starting to look 79. No. He's starting to look 79.
Yeah, he looks every bit of it now.
That spray on orange shit's not doing the trick anymore.
No.
You know? Crazy fucker.
You think if some of these elites actually had their hands on some of the conspiracy type kind of stuff, they'd have the fountain you found and processed and use it daily, you know?
I'm sure they do lots of bizarre shit, but I from what I understand, the adrenochrome keeps them looking young for quite some time.
Yeah, I've seen that synthetically made too. They take like the surgical grade EpiPens they use in hospitals, so they take the same ingredients and they can synthetically manufacture like an adrenochrome out of it. It's weird.
Dude said that Trump seemed like Dustin Hoffman's character in Rain Man during the Davos speech.
The Davos.
Yeah. That's
people say that a lot about, you know, why do these evil people not die sooner and stuff like that. It's like, you know, they can deny the hands of time all they want and all their bad deeds, but at some point, you know, it'll catch up to them.
Oh yeah, it's going to catch back up to them eventually.
I mean,
Good.
Nothing ever really happens on our time, unfortunately. But
so does he have pads in that suit? That looks like he has shoulder pads in there. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I would say he probably does. Because he's kind of got the physique of Humpty Dumpty.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking
back in 2015, 2016, when Trump first took office, and people were like, "Wow, I mean, we never heard a politician speak like this." It was like he was kind of irreverent, and he was like, it was a new voice that we never really heard. He just seemed like he really spoke to the people,
right?
And he was funny at times, and he seemed like he was sharp. He's striking me now as that guy you knew in high school who used to be really funny and popular. And now you see him at the 30-year reunion, and you start saying, "Oh man, that it's not landing like it used to."
Yeah.
What's your take on what you just watched at Davos? Obviously, there's a lot to unpack, but your general theme.
Well, again, when you listen to his voice, he's talking in a monotone. Essentially, he's like Dustin Hoffman in the movie Rain Man, except I genuinely believe Trump is now mentally impaired. He's got early stages of dementia. One of the symptoms that are manifest outwardly is what's called confabulation. When you say things that are flatly not true, but you genuinely believe they're true.
Yeah, like inflation's really low, and
that's the only shirt that guy owns.
I think it is. I think it is.
That's every interview he's in has that same shirt.
It might be his thing. He might be like Matlock. That's all he has. A whole closet full of those shirts. Right?
He is quote unquote former CIA, even though we all know that he never quit working for the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
You find out eventually that every motherfucker's worked for the CIA.
Yeah, they never quit working. They're CIA for life.
God, this guy is something else.
Man, you guys got to quit playing that stupid song. I just found myself humming it in my head. I was like,
I know, I do it too. I do it too.
No more mentioning that song. Everybody's talking about it in chat, and I was just like, oh man, then I started singing it in my head.
Oh,
if I go work for ICE, I could take the $50,000 and go to Antarctica.
What is
if you go work
there
for
you
ICE?
go. Check this out.
Cheat code.
President Trump is not used to asking for consent, and the government of the USA does not believe in international law. They only listen to force. And in a world of force, Europe can be a force of good. So after a year of ass-kissing, it's time to change strategy. Because Europe also has power. We are their largest trading partner. The big tech relies on our massive markets. They need military bases in Europe. And Europeans hold a lot of US sovereign debt. The costs that the US would pay if they take Greenland must be higher than the benefits. For that, we should activate the anti-coercion instrument. And in the meantime, accelerate to independence and speak with one voice. Let's create a United States of Europe with a European army to back each other up when we are under attack. Just like the three musketeers, all for one, one for all.
The United States of Europe, huh? Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Well, they proposed that once before, and he tried to make the euro, right?
Well, isn't that what the European Union is anyway?
Mm-hmm. That's what it's supposed to be, I think. Yeah.
Force the biscuit. That sounds kind of violent.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Yikes. Force the biscuit.
Never do such a thing.
He says when Trump spoke at the World Economic Forum for a second time today, and it went about how you'd expect.
You got
I'm just gonna check it out. Got to check it out. I haven't seen this.
Plucked, like you pluck a chicken. Our country was being plucked. You need a dictator But they didn't say that in this case. And no, it's common sense. It's all based on common sense, you know. Were they coming from Indiana to see the Washington Monument? You okay? Are you good? Well, you got a lot of good people here. This is a very good place. Black women with Make America Great Again, MAGA caps on. They're all over Chicago. They want MAGA to come in. And we brought them back to countries. In some cases, we bring them to jails because if you bring them back to the country, they'll find a way, despite the strong borders, they'll find a way in. Bill is incredible. You get that 1 year deduction. You build something and you take the whole thing down. And we took in tremendous numbers of murderers. They're in great shape. I don't even ask anybody how you're doing now. It's like everybody is making so much money. Oh, look who I see, Tim. Hi, Tim Cook. He's been good for 650. Think of it, $650 billion. Think of it, it gives me a chance to use it if and when I ever get out of this position. There's a big question. Thank you for being here. It's such an honor. And if we can ever help, you're going to let me know. And I have a pretty direct line.
That line about if or when I ever get out of this position, he's talking about these tax cuts that he's going to implement.
I like the way you said $650 billion.
He's a fucking lunatic, man. Yeah, this is kind of fun watching the fall of this, and keeping them in mind that this is actually. If you voted, this is what you voted for. I don't care what side you voted for. You did vote for this.
You voted for democracy.
Yep, you voted. You gave your consent. This is what you get. So here we are. Wow.
Well, I'm not there. You people that voted, you're there.
Yeah, right. I ain't playing with this shit. This is crazy. Anyway, I got to get off here. I got to get something to eat and then go to bed. I have to go put entry doorknobs on tomorrow. I have to change the locks. These people moved out of this place and I have to change the doorknobs. So that ought to be fun. Anyway, anybody got anything?
Stop doing the strong arm people.
Yeah, what's that?
So you're going to strong arm people.
Yeah, I'm not. No, these people just kind of like up and left and moved out. Didn't say hi, bye, or shit, I guess. And so, you know, he wants to make sure that the doors are changed and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, should be fun. Be a short day, but that's all right. We'll be back. Anybody got anything they want to leave anybody with? Any words?
Says the goodness, everybody.
Right on, man.
Don't get it on the wings.
Right. And somebody please find that law that says I have to be a citizen to reside or to exist in this land. I can't find it. I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, like we always say on here, don't forget the Lord loves the working man. Don't never, ever, ever trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because he'll probably kill you. And if you heard the shot, probably wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night.